All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Now, little does Kevin know, but I'm guessing you ski.
Not well.
But you try.
I tried. I'm that type of person that you don't want on the hill with you because I have one speed and one speed only. Fast.
Yeah.
Like mate with the orange fence kind of fast.
I'm really good at the après ski.
Very
Yes,
nice.
so I will watch my daughter with her instructor or my husband. I don't care. But I will watch her from inside drinking my, hot chocolate.
That's a refined talent, though.
It is.
Like
I've been practicing for years. Yesterday was a pretty active day, but it's going to drop over the weekend. I'll let you know how cold it's going to get. But first, here's Krissy.
Thanks so much, Emily. And the good news is after the flooding, really only one problem spot on the TTC, the 73 Royal York diverting southbound, and that's due to leftover flooding at Royal York and Dundas. As for the drive, I'm down, so use the Beat the Traffic app to divert around that. And as for how cold it will get, over to you, Emily. Thanks so much for that, Emily. A look around the globe in force of nature. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann, in for Tom Reynolds. Coming up, Emily Vukovic will have full forecast details. And in the show, we'll be joined by Kevin Yard at the Toronto Snow Show. But first, Waterfront Marathon is this weekend. You can visit beatthetraffic.com. Visit the news section, and that will tell you about all the closures. But as for how the marathon will be weather-wise, I'll send it over to you, Emily.
Kevin, you must feel like a dinosaur today. You're learning all the lingo from the little kids. Way cool. What did he say earlier? Stoked.
Yes, he
so
did.
Stoked, dude.
But it's nice. It's nice to see him using the lingo. And at first, when he had those goggles on, I walked right up to the screen. And I was like, do those sparkle? They were very...
We think you should find some glitter glasses, Kevin.
Yes.
We do. Make it a little more girly, Well, it's a good time at the snow show. It's happening all weekend long. Yesterday, the weather in Toronto took us, and I believe, Krissy, that we still have one issue this morning due to the flooding last night, correct?
Yes, Emily. Luckily, not more than that. The 73 Royal York has been diverting southbound at Dundas due to leftover flooding, but the major routes not impacted. Visit beatthetraffic.com. Use the news tab, and that will show you all the closures for the weekend. Thanks so much, Kevin. Next time, I want to see you on that skateboard. Now, as for things on the road, some good news. The Dundas and Royal York closure, that has reopened, so TTC Route 73 back to regular routing. In more good news, we had some lingering construction on the QEW. Coming up, we'll have details on the Toronto Waterfront Marathon closures in place for the weekend. Thanks so much, Emily. And exactly that. Luckily, no lingering delays because of that flooding. Lawrence Station is open, and as well, the 73 Royal York bus with the TTC has resumed regular routing. Coming up, I'll have details on the Gardner and DVP Drive and closures for the Toronto waterfront.
Nice.
Looking good there, Kevin. That's exactly what I need myself. Haven't really attempted the snowboarding, but this year for sure. Now, one thing that I do want you to know about for Sunday, the Scotiabank Waterfront Marathon taking place. There are road closures taking place on the Lakeshore, Queen, and Eastern. Full details at beatthetraffic.com under the news tab. We got more traffic details, and we'll check back in with Kevin Yard.
All right, Kevin, we want you to put your money where your mouth is.
Yes,
Let's see it.
He was on the sort of learn to snowboard thing in the last hit there.
He
so,
was.
Why not take the ramp?
Come on, Kevin, let's do it. You got to do what are they called when you get it,
I have no idea. I just always hope that I make it down in one piece.
Right, I suppose. Okay, Kevin, give it a shot. Well, yesterday was a wild weather day for the city of Toronto. Tonight's dropping to 9. Temperatures are really cooling off for the weekend. I'll have those details just ahead, but first, here's Krissy with traffic.
Thanks so much, Emily. Luckily, no lingering delays from the flooding of last night. Looking at the drive, of course, Emily, there will be delays this weekend due to the Toronto Marathon. Details on that are at beatthetraffic.com. Thanks so much for that look around the globe, Emily. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann, in for Tom Reynolds. Coming up in the show, we'll join Emily Vukovic with full forecast details and check in with Kevin Yard at the Toronto Snow Show. He's currently at the Pro-Am Rail Jam. But as for getting around the GTA, well, at vic.com, go under the news tab, and all the details you need are there. But as for how the weather will shape up this weekend, over to you, Emily.
Kevin, I'll give you $20 if you strap on a snowboard right now and go up the hill and come down for us on our next hit.
I think that's an excellent. I will match that bet.
$40, Kevin. $40 to do that.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it for $40.
No.
Not a chance.
Might cost more to fix whatever's broken after that. So
I suppose. All right, well, yesterday we had a very active weather day for the city of Toronto. We saw gloomy conditions, and most of that water has now receded, and areas are cleaning up. We'll talk about the weekend forecast, let you know about our temperatures, but first, here's Krissy with traffic.
Thanks so much, Emily. And I really feel like today's commute is quite backwards. We started off with so many problem spots. Of course, we had a couple problems left over from the flooding, but now closure information for the Toronto Waterfront Marathon. But first, with the weekend forecast, Emily. Thanks so much for that. Lots to see at the Ski and Snow Show this weekend. And of course, some of the personalities from here at the Weather Network will be present, so be sure to stop by and say hello. Now, looking at the drive, well, it's been a little bit of a mess this morning at the Up and Go. Now, the Toronto Marathon is on Sunday. Details are at beatthetraffic.com. Under the news tab for closures coming up, we'll check back in with Kevin Yard. Thanks so much for that, Emily. And well, the drive this morning for travelers on the QEW has been none too nice, but I do have good news yet again. Coming up, we'll be joined by Kevin Yard at the Toronto Ski Show, so keep it here to find out what he's up to.
Just turn around. A little turn.
Well, thank you so much for that, Kevin. If only traffic was as fun as what you're having at the Toronto Ski and Snow Show. Now, looking at the roads, we now have a fresh problem coming out of the east end of the city, as well have details on how you can find out more information on the closures for this weekend's Toronto Waterfront Marathon.
Very cool idea, but I don't know if I'd call it a leash.
Yeah, no.
My dog has a leash.
That is true. Although, if you'd seen me on a ski hill, you would see why something like that is warranted. Rein me in.
Yeah, but I know our producer said that he needs it for his wife next time she goes skiing. Sorry. She might be watching. Okay, well, off to the snow. We're not thinking about snow just yet. The rain expected today will not be that intense. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, let's head over to Krissy for traffic.
Thanks so much, Emily. And right off the top, I do want to mention that it's the Scotiabank Toronto Waterfront Marathon taking place on Sunday. So to find out the road closures, visit beatthetraffic.com under the news tab. A full article there, as it is going to be impacting the Lakeshore Queen as well as Eastern. Now, well, coming up, we'll check out the Gardner. But first, for the weekend forecast, over to you, Emily. Thanks, Emily, for that look around the globe in force of nature. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann in for Tom Reynolds. Coming up, we'll have Emily Vukovic with full forecast details. But first, the roads. They have been quite a traffic headache throughout the day. And as a result, there are closures on the Lakeshore as well as Eastern and Queen. For all the details on that, go to beatthetraffic.com. You can find all the information at the news tab. You can also download the Beat the Traffic app on iTunes and Google Play for the latest details. For the weekend forecast, over to you, Emily.